Tom and
Ready? Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order for November 19th. Along with my fellow commissioners, we welcome you to tonight's meeting. Can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Bernardo, Commissioner Brennan, Commissioner Holsinger,
Here.
Commissioner Tucker.
Here.
President Caravano.
Here. Thank you. First item on the agenda is public comments. And not having received any public comments, we will move on to staff recognition. Are there any staff recognition at this time?
Nothing from manager.
nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. First item of business is consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar, which is item number 1, minutes of the meeting from November 5th, 2014. Any discussion, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bernardo, Commissioner Brennan, Commissioner Holsinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Tucker.
Aye.
President Caravano.
Aye. The motion carries. The next item of business is item number 2, the Army Corps of Engineers Surfers Beach project payment pursuant to adjustment of in-kind contribution. A report from the general manager.
Yes. Excuse me. Yeah, these amendments were previously approved by the board, and resolutions are needed to formally approve and adopt them. At that time, resolutions were not prepared.
So moved on resolution 35-14 to amend fiscal year 2014-15 budget and approve payment to USACE in the amount not to exceed $89,316.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve item number 2, along with the attached resolution. Any further questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bernardo, Commissioner Brennan, Commissioner Holsinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Tucker.
Aye.
President Caravano.
Aye. The motion carries. Item number 3 is the bills and claims. Get a report from the treasurer.
Yes, I have reviewed the bills and claims, and they are in order for your approval and payment in the amount of $101,693.68. And I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bills and claims for the period ending November the 19th of 2014. Are there any questions, comments? Good, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bernardo, Commissioner Brennan, Commissioner Holsinger,
Aye.
Commissioner Tucker.
Aye.
President Caravano.
Aye, the motion carries. Next are staff reports. First one is from the general manager.
You have my report, and I will take any questions on it. I have nothing additional to add at this point.
Anything from the acting general manager?
You have my report. I'll take any questions.
We have a written report from Director of Finance.
Again, I will take any questions.
Okay, and then report from Human Resources. Item number
Likewise.
7. Moving on to operations. We can start with Assistant Harbor Master Rocky.
The only thing I have, just an update, the run went well at the Marina South City run, and we have a run this coming Saturday, the St. Veronica Catholic School run, second annual. So everything's going good there, so that's all set. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Item number 9, report from Acting Harbor Master Draper.
Well, you have my report. The only thing I have to add is we've had a busy weekend. On Monday, we had a boat sink with 3 people in the water. All 3 were retrieved. The older gentleman was 91 years old, was sent to the hospital, but was released within an hour of going to the hospital. And yesterday, we had 3 medical calls with one person had a seizure, fell down, split his head open, and then the other 3 were just regular medical calls. So it's been a busy week, and crab season's going full swing.
Okay, thank you.
And the harbor's just been really active since, well, beginning of sports season, it's been active, but it's been interesting.
Good to hear, John. Thanks for all the work that, all the patrolmen do at both at Oyster Point and at Pillar Point.
And is it a good season so far?
It's been a really good season so far. Too good. There's problems with trucking, so the guys are waiting 1 to 2 days to unload their loads of crab. But it's one of the better seasons in last 20 years probably.
And how are the prices?
Prices to the
Three and
boats
six.
are still at $3 a pound, and they've stayed at $3 a pound. It's just, the unloading is what's been the problem.
The new weight restrictions on the,
No, they haven't been put on limits yet, so.
okay.
Okay. And item number 10 are committee reports. Hearing none. 10B is commissioner statements and requests. Public statements. Commissioner Tucker?
I have none.
I have none. Commissioner Holsinger?
I do have a request. I've come to learn and understand that there's some question about unauthorized use of electrical out on Johnson Pier, and that's been investigated, and a report is either gone or going to the sheriff about that. I'd like to request that we have an informational report at the next meeting on what that involves and the status of it.
And you're requesting a,
An informational report from general manager or acting general manager
on the agenda?
on the agenda.
Doesn't that require a motion?
Yes.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, that's a motion.
Then I'll second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion, questions?
Yeah, are we at requesting future agenda items right now?
Correct. An informational report.
So we're requesting a report or
Yeah.
an agenda item?
Well, it's an informational report. It goes on the agenda, but I'm not asking for any action. I'm just asking for a report.
Okay, but you're asking for it as an agenda item?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bernardo? Commissioner Brennan?
No.
Commissioner Holsinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucker?
Aye.
President Carolano?
Aye. The motion carries. And Commissioner Brennan, we're at 10B, 2. We need to put any items on a future agenda.
Yeah, I have a couple things. I would like to request that at the next meeting, we have an agenda item to discuss an executive search for a general manager. So the same request I've made at the last 3 meetings, I'm requesting again for the 4th time tonight. Is that clear? Do I need to clarify it? Does that sound clear to you, Mr. Miller? Okay. Can I get a second?
There's no second, so the motion fails.
Okay, moving on. At the next meeting, I would like to request that we have an agenda item to conduct officer elections. Any questions about that request for an agenda item?
It's scheduled for January, is it not usually?
I'm sorry, I'm requesting it for January. If I said the next meeting, I meant January. Can I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Can I clarify, the beginning of the next January meeting is January 21st?
Well, actually, that's a good question. I don't think that's decided right now exactly when that meeting is going to be held.
The board took action and canceled the first January meeting, so the next one scheduled is January 21st.
But the new board could have a meeting before that.
That's not.
So I'm just saying for the first meeting in January, whatever meeting that is. Is that clear?
It's not altogether clear to me, no. The motion is to schedule for the first regular meeting of the commission.
No, the first meeting of the commission in January. Whether it's a special or regular meeting, the first meeting in January.
Well, here's the problem. The definition of a special meeting is that the agenda is set with regard to that special meeting. To put on the agenda of a special meeting that does not yet exist is a concept that sounds.
Okay, I'm going to withdraw my motion and make a new motion. So, the new motion is to reinstate the first meeting in January, which would be January 7th as a regular meeting. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay, so that's the request.
Then I'll withdraw my second on the first motion that was removed.
Can I get a second?
There is no second, so the motion fails.
Okay, and the last one. I'm gonna skip it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, next item is item number 11, identification of district real property negotiator. And I have two two speaker slips on this. And I designate,
Point of information,
Yes.
if I may, Mr. President. I'd like that to read myself, Jan Gray, and Barbara LeVay, spelling
okay,
L-A-V-E-Y.
okay. Designate district real property negotiator Peter Grinnell, Jan Gray, and Barbara LeVay.
I have a question about that. We voted to make,
We need a second on this.
No, I think
No.
the chair,
just-
the chair, I think the
the
chair
Chair,
does
oh,
it.
I'm sorry, okay, please continue.
we made Jan Gray and Barbara LeVay our real property negotiators, so why are we having a third real property negotiator? Since the board chose them to be the real property negotiators.
I think, is it up to the president to designate?
So you want to
Right.
designate three, can you explain why?
You're looking at me,
Yeah.
President Parvano.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It is up to the president to identify the negotiators.
Yeah.
It's, doesn't necessarily need to be even a separate item. It's just prior to going into closed session, you have to identify who the negotiators are.
Yeah. Okay. So it was up to me to assign negotiators, so that's what I did.
And you want to make all three of them the real property negotiators?
I'll move to go to closed session.
We have two speaker slips on this.
Sorry.
The first one is Ms. Fran Pollard. And we have 3 minutes for public comment, and the deputy secretary will hold up.
Am I supposed to stand here?
Yeah.
Is there a microphone? Yes, there is. This is the fastest meeting you've ever had, I think. Okay, I just came to speak before you go into closed session on the El Granada Post Office parcel. I just want to urge you to please do the right thing for the community, what the community really wants, and I hope you will do that. Take that into consideration. I think the Granada's Community Service District is going to present an offer. So we think that they've got the best program for the community. They can work with the community and do what the community needs. That is public lands, and it should be for public use. And we're hoping that if GSD gets a CSD, that they will work with the community for the best use of the property, what the community wants. the history of the land is meant to be public, for the public good, and they would be using it for the public good. The majority of the community agrees with us. The best use is for the community benefit, and the GCSD has the intention to use it for their offices, I guess, for a community center, we're hoping. It'll all be decided after it's discussed and brought to public attention. But we've kind of got some ideas that we want to use that land for. So I hope you'll take that into consideration. And also, I believe there's still the state law that requires surplus property from one government agency to sell to another government agency if they want it, if they need it. And we do need it, we do want it, and so I hope you consider that. So once again, I hope you consider the best use for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, second is Mr. Dan Haggerty.
Good evening, Mr. President, honorable commissioners. I wanted to speak also around the post office lot. When this commission is considering who should have the opportunity to acquire the post office lot, it's very important to note that the Granada Community Services District is the only agency that would have the ability to maximize the public benefit of any development of this property. Not only would the coastside residents, the San Mateo County residents, but also the visitors from outside of the county would benefit as well. Because the GCSD has parks powers, they can fully utilize the El Granada Gateway section area of the parcel. In fact, some of these ideas have already been illustrated and are already have significant community support based on the Phase 1 Mid-Coast Mobility Study from 2008. The Granada Community Services District, if they were to acquire the property, would have the ability on the gateway side to provide extra visitor parking near a safe crossing, which is the Coronado light, could provide weekday park and ride use for the same area, which I don't need to say, we already know how congested Highway 1 is. So I've talked to other government officials in the county that have promoted, they've already been promoting ideas of park and ride, and this would be a perfect place for it because it's near the center of the greater Granada and the community. It would all, the GCSD could also have the ability to provide much needed community center space on the Granada Parkway area. And also, again, we know how much that's needed because when all of the community services are concentrated in Half Moon Bay, there's more use of the highway, causing more congestion. So the benefit here is reducing congestion on the highway. Centrally located open town plaza providing ocean views to the public. Additional small, a public community multi-museum also providing ocean views to the public. Additional small business space to provide, help the vitality of the existing businesses on the downtown. All of these ideas will benefit the greater coastside and including Pillar Point Harbor. Top dollar is not always the most important issue at hand. When making such an important decision like this, publicly elected officials should consider the greatest public benefit. So please do the right thing for the County of San Mateo, the coastside residents, and give favor towards the Granada Community Services District acquiring the property. Thank you very much.
Move to go into closed session.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We go into closed session. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Ah.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bernardo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Holsinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucker?
Aye.
President Fairwell?
Aye. We are in closed session.
Good. We going next door here?
Right.